Hey, Craig here. So what is a cycle start checklist? Well, basically it's a list that I started using recently. I've been wanting to do this for a while. But basically a list of things that I need to check off before I hit the cycle start button. Since I've been starting job shop work and doing more complex things, not making errors in the job you're doing becomes more and more important. So anyways, I'm going to go through these items one by one. This is by far a complete list. This is just a list that I've kind of come up with. But I don't know if any of you have any other ideas or things that you might have on your list. Feel free to leave them down below. All right, I'm going to start on number 1 here. I also have this over here. This is just one for the video, but I've got it taped on to my below my keyboard over there. So all right, so the first thing I have on my list is to make sure that the stock size is correct for the job that I'm doing. And this particular one here, it's a 2-inch. I'm about 15 thousandths over. That's fine. Thousandth under, that's fine. And then 1, it's right on there. So, and of course the next thing would be to square up to deburr the stock before putting it in there. Okay, the next thing I have on my list is to make sure that the stock is held properly, like centered on the vise, that the part is secure, the parallels aren't moving. All right. And the next thing would be to double check the probe that I'm using. I'm using the passive probe from Tormach. Make sure the stylus is tight, that there's nothing broken on it. Make sure that it's been calibrated properly recently, and make sure it's set up in Path Pilot. In this case would be a 99 with a feed rate of 30 for probing. Then I would double check down here that I am in the correct work coordinate system. In this case it's G58, and that my file is also in the same work coordinate system, G58. Then I would do my my probing. Then I would verify the probing by entering into the MDI G0, X0, Y0, Z25 if I'm setting my zeros on the top of the part. And then I can take a look to make sure it looks like I'm in the right spot. Looks like I'm on the edges there perfectly. It looks like I'm 25 quarter of an inch above, so that looks good. I would then double check my air compressor to make sure it's turned on. I actually have it turned off right now because of the video. So that's one of the reasons I do that, because oftentimes I'll turn it off to do a video. So I double check that I'll do that at the end because I'm doing the video. Also, I will double check the coolant level to make sure I have enough coolant in there. Sometimes you'll be running a part and you'll run out of coolant and you can't really stop the job or something. I will then double check the belt position. Low. Actually, hey, I just caught it right there. I was about to do this and I forgot I had it on low for another job. So I will change that to high, and of course change the belt position to high. I will then check my control panel to make sure everything is still in auto. Every once in a while you got to do something manually, and of course it gets left there and you start it and you have a problem because it's in auto or in manual, you know. I then make sure that my G code is the most current file for what I'm doing. Make sure it's been updated, because this is Dropbox, so I make sure that I have the most current file there. And then the last thing that I do is make sure that there is sufficient clearance under the part for any drilling or tapping operations. I had one job where I actually made a precision cube for spacing it up. I put the part on here, but I didn't have any clearance on this, and when it went to tap it, it actually grabbed this block and pulled it up and nearly ruined the part. I was able to salvage it, but I drilled these clearance holes on the bottom of it. So make sure there's clearance, you know, like you might end up hitting the parallels or something like that, and of course your heights on the jaws to make sure you don't go down too far. I would double check all that too. Okay, well, I had a couple of these things out of order. I'm going to go ahead and change these around. I think I added a couple things while I was talking too, so. Okay, well, after all that talking, let's do some machining here. Let's see some chips fly. This is just a made-up part that I did for practice and for video purposes, so. Not sure why I suddenly started getting this vibrating sound with the shear hog. Sorry, with the Superfly. A little slow on the linking there. Yeah, that turned out pretty good, except my linking out actually was off. I still have a hair, you can barely notice it, but yeah, see, there's that mark right there. I got the linking, I thought I had the linking right on that, but the entrance was fine. It was a straight shot, but my linking on coming out of it was wrong. So anyways, so if you can think of anything that might be missing on my list that I can learn from and other people watching this video can also learn from, feel free to leave it down below. If you like this video, I'd appreciate the thumbs up. There should be some other videos down below if you'd like to watch those. Also, if you'd like to support us on Patreon, there should be a Patreon link up on the screen here, and thank you for watching. Right?